obviously a big comeback win after the loss. What did you see just from pretty much everyone from
Right.
front starters to bench responding
Right.
tonight?
Well, I thought we did a good job of, taking care of the basketball. We had a couple turnovers there that were unforced, but we kind of kept it at our range that we need to keep it at. Then I thought we made that run to start the second half, and we were able to, really rebound the basketball and not allow second chance opportunities. And, started the game 5-1 on the first media timeout, and they had 5 offensive rebounds, and the end it was 7. So we did a much better job after that first media timeout. But I thought our guys executed and played well. Obviously, Cam gave us a big lift off the bench, made every shot that he took, and just trying to establish Zach, and then kind of just read how they're handling Braden and ball screen things, and then just kind of sprinkle in from there. We had a couple shots in the first half that we'd like to have back. But I thought our guys played well. Obviously this is one of the best defensive teams in the country, and to put 96 points up against them is something that we haven't done. We might have done it a long time ago against him, but since he's gotten that program established, we haven't been able to really open up and score against them, and they've made it really difficult on us. And so this was a big night for us. This is a big win for us.
Hey, Matt, over here. I thought your ball movement tonight was a lot better than what it ever was at Ohio State. Did you work a little bit on that this weekend? Or I seen you mouthing them before the start of the game. It looked like you were saying, move the ball, move the ball,
Yeah.
move the ball.
Yeah, we worked on it. Like sometimes the ball will stick, but you also have to understand we had 6 turnovers out of our 14, and we got the ball down low against Ohio State. So like we're going to still try to get the ball in positions to Zach or to Braden or whoever it might be on our team, right? And we just kind of play off of that. But yeah, we really talked about ball movement, making it simple. When they take things away, trying to beat Rutgers one-on-one is not going to work. You have to move the ball, you have to play out of ball screen, you have to play out of the post. And then when you have advantageous scenarios that you get in transition or you get on offensive rebounds, whatever, now you got to take advantage of that, and you got to get layups and dunks, and I thought we did a good job of that.
Matt, how hard is it for a guy like Cam to stay patient where he's capable of doing what he did, but when you're getting 4 minutes, 6 minutes, even 10 minutes and being asked to basically go in and play a different role, stay patient and just know that your time is going to come?
Yeah, it's borderline impossible, to be frank. Like you sit there and you wait, and you're getting in the first half. You might not get in the second half. We've talked about it a lot as a staff. Just, you get into a 10-man rotation, and when you sub, is it more for a defense, offense? But he's been solid on both ends, and it's hard because it's a numbers game, and that's all it is. It's not like we don't believe in him, because we do. But tonight, like, he was able to show his skill, show his athleticism, but also he didn't do anything that he couldn't do. He stayed within himself. He had a couple direct drives that were great, obviously knocking down his threes. But no, he's kept a great attitude. You kind of see, his upside there. You see, especially playing alongside Braden and then playing alongside a great post like Zachary.
This just preempted my question, but it would have been human nature to throw up a heat check or two, but it seemed like he made good decisions attacking the basket too. How hard is that, especially when you're a younger guy having a night like this?
Yeah, it's just who he is. Like, he's a 3-and-D guy. He's a guy that can defend. He can space. He takes the shots that come his way. When they don't come his way, if they play him on a closeout, he can direct drive. But really, it's, getting the ball inside at that point, and learning to, if they're going to take you away. So, a lot of people in our league have taken Fletcher Lawyer away. And I thought tonight he was great. He had 5 assists, 1 turnover, and, he has scored 27 against Tennessee, and he scored 27 against Arizona. Like, what do you think they're going to do? And so, like, in those games, he's opportunistic in those games. We'll run a couple of things for him, but it's not like what we do for Braden, or it's not like what we do for Zachary. And so, like, I think it's important. A lot of young guys don't know who they are yet. They think who they are is how they played in high school. And there's a small percentage of people that can do that and transition in there. He's done a really good job of just playing to his strengths, taking what's given, and not forcing things. And even tonight, like, just like you mentioned, he's 7 for 7, and like he didn't force anything. He just let the game come to him. He's going to be a good player. He's already a good player. He just, needs more of an opportunity.
Hey, Matt, talk about the state of the game. You've got two generational players, Zach Edey, Caitlin Clark. As a fan, what's it like for all these fans that are out there watching all these games and knowing there's two generational talents right now?
Yeah, a lot of times with someone like Caitlin Clark or Zach Edey, like, you don't appreciate them until they're gone. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, she's so dynamic in the way she can move east-west at 30 feet and flick it and make it. Like, it's borderline amazing. And people don't understand, like, how hard that is. It's like a video game. It's like what Steph does. Like, it's like a video game. It's amazing. Klay Thompson, those guys. Like, if you really appreciate greatness. But I'm a big believer in this. You know, Zach obviously has the most rebounds now, and he passes Joe Barry Carroll, who's one of our great players. But you don't replicate greatness. Like, the next Rick Mount's not coming through the doors. There's only one Rick Mount. There's only one Joe Barry Carroll. There's only one Caitlin Clark. There's only one. And just appreciate them. You know, appreciate their greatness and appreciate they're here. And as a coach, you always want, you know, in dealing with Zach, you always want more. You know, you don't want more from somebody who played 6 minutes who's your ninth man. It's not fair. They didn't get the opportunity. But when you're dealing with someone who's special like that, like, you got to keep pushing them. You know, you got to keep, you know, grinding because they have the capability to carry everybody on a given night.
Matt, you said a lot of young guys don't know who they are yet. You've got two sophomore guards. How far have they come in terms of
Right.
learning who they are?
I think, you know, for Braden, he gets some backhanded compliments because people will hedge ball screens, they'll trap ball screens, they'll extend the ball screens, and sometimes he wants direct plays instead of getting the ball out of his hands and getting, for lack of a better term, a hockey assist, and the ball's got to move sometimes. So that's where his development is. He wants everything to go smooth, and everybody's trying to knock him out of rhythm, so it's a little bit harder. Fletcher's really shown a lot of resolve. He hasn't shot the ball well here for about 5 or 6 games, but he also hasn't had a lot of attempts. But it's not who you are as a player. Who you are as a player is the total package, the value. How do you defend? Do you take care of the basketball? Do you have a good attitude? Fletcher's been great, and Braden's been great in those situations because this time of last year was really tough for us. It's really tough for those two guys, and they're doing a much better job. And a lot of times people will look at it and like, well, how are they doing a much better job? It's when adversity sets in. You know, when adversity sets in, that's where you see the difference. And Fletcher's kept a great attitude through a little bit of a shooting slump, but he's doing good things to help us. And Braden's been fantastic. Both those guys have been. They want it all. And sometimes you can't get it all the time. You got to slowly but surely build on that. But, you know, fortunate to have them in our program.
Matt, I've been watching Purdue games for 67 years now, and I don't remember free throw shooting like it's gone in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
27 in a row, and then 38 out of 39 till Will Berg missed the last one.
Yeah.
Have you done anything special? Because they were
No.
struggling before the Ohio
No.
State game.
You know, the only thing I say to guys, you know, during the game is do your routine. Like, don't do anything different. Don't think any different. You don't think hit or miss. You think your mechanics, you think your little routine that you have. If you go up thinking hit or miss, it's going to be the latter, you know. And some guys you just leave alone. But that's the only thing I say to them. Just do your routine. But, no, it's great to see. Like, Zachary struggled for about 3 games in a row. And now the last 2 games he hasn't missed. So, you know, it balances out. I was hoping we had some makes coming our way. But we ruined a 20 for 20 game, right? If you go 20 for 20, you got to win the game. But maybe it's a silver lining. I don't know.
Early on, they got some offensive rebounds and then some turnovers, and it was a 21-20 game.
Yeah.
Did you tell him anything, or what did you see adjustment-wise
Yeah.
to change the game there?
It wasn't an adjustment. Just take care of the basketball. You know, the first 5 minutes, we have 4 turnovers. We give up, I think, 5 offensive rebounds. Like, we weren't playing well. Like, we just take what the defense gives you. You know, be simple. You know, we were getting stops, but then if you don't get the rebound, you're not rewarding yourself. But more than anything, trying to keep them in front of us. They're very good. They work downhill. They drive the ball. And then we had a couple undisciplined plays when they got deep. We needed to chest them and then not let them get away from us. Fernandez got away from us, hit a couple threes in that stretch. And that's all we really talked about. It wasn't any of their action or anything that they were doing. It's just kind of at the end of their sets, they were taking us off the dribble, and then we weren't doing a good job boxing out.
didn't really impact the game at all, but I feel like I'm seeing more innocuous attacks on celebrations after threes.
Yeah.
Has that been an emphasis lately from what you can tell?
Those
the
are the only
officials?
ones we've had right there, like two, and looks
Well-
like they just kind of matched them up.
The Illinois-Michigan State game a while back was the same way. They called one on Illinois and then
They matched it up, yeah.
immediately called another one on
Yeah,
Michigan State.
I don't know.
So you haven't heard anything about that being an
That's
emphasis?
the pool reporter, right? You gotta go down the hall for that one. Yeah,
Can we
I
bring
don't
them in
know. I
here?
asked him what he said. He didn't know what he said. So, but the thing for us is that no matter what they say to you, like, who cares, right? They gave a technical, and I told them, I said, they're gonna give us a technical if we do anything. And we obviously, but I didn't see it, so I don't know. I'm not gonna argue with someone who went 7 for 7 and 4 for 4. Yeah, yeah.
Expanding a little bit on what you said earlier about Zach and generational type players like Rick Mount and Joe Barry Carroll, you played with one of those guys in Glenn Robinson. What has made Zach so special both on and off the court that you've seen?
Yeah. Obviously, you know, when you talk about his playing ability, you know, his elite size, then I think his competitiveness with that. You know, he can go out of his area to rebound, which when you have that much cargo, it's kind of a tough challenge for a lot of guys that size. And then his skill level has improved so much. He became a good free throw shooter. He became a good passer. He was a bad free throw shooter. He was a bad passer. He just his understanding of the game. So he got the ball stripped the other night at Ohio State. So when he came in to watch film and I talked to him about it, he's very intelligent and understanding of like who he is. So I just said, hey, you can't drop the basketball. He goes, yeah, but when I chin it and I turn, I crack people in the head.